But I have to say, with Satis Vigilante, also, I'm very proud of that movie. I think it turned out very good. And it's very, like, rigid. You know, where you have this kind of, what I like with movies like Rampage too, where you have things you don't expect, where it's like, fuck, you know, so that was the idea. And because I felt also the last Equalizer or the last John Wick, I don't like them anymore. They're like, you know, like they're no superheroes. They're like Marvel characters. And I like it more rough, where you have this kind of like, you know, there's a scene in, for example, people like young kids, they don't buy a ticket in the bus. So they just go in and tell the driver he can fuck off. I'm not paying the bus ticket. And then, you know, and then he's like paying the ticket for them and tells them, like, if I ever see you again doing something bad, you will regret it till you're dead. You know, and the audience knows at that point, oh yeah, at one point in the movie, they will do something bad, right? And then he sees these three guys in a park bullying another school kid, right? And you feel already, oh yeah. So he completely trashes them. And you feel, and that was also a thing with the German rating. They are young kids, they're getting like the hand broken. He tasers them, breaks their hand, and say, look, you will walk away from this. The next time I see you, the third time I see you, you're done. Like, that's it, right? So, but that's the stuff. I mean, I have to say, I love shit like this. You know, where like in Falling Down, I loved it when he was like in the beginning, I was totally pro Michael Douglas. Because that's the inner feeling you have when you have this kind of bullies or you have this kind of assholes, and you know, and they double down on everybody, and that is where he goes against it. That's the reason, as you said, the social media crowd loves him, but the media, the police, hates him. You know, so that's the thing. And Armie Hammer was perfect for it because he looks like this all-American boy, you know, like, but he also has this edge to him. He has this kind of where you feel like, he can do also different. You know, he can be polite or he can be not polite anymore. He is tall, strong. So you have the feeling like, especially in a time right now, where you don't have any more action stars who are under 60. I mean, even Jason Statham is almost 60. You know, like Jared Butler is 64, Stallone 78, Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis is not doing movies anymore. Mel Gibson is 75. You have nobody left. I mean, who's the action star? That's the reason you don't find a James Bond.
That is interesting. Now, I've considered this myself, just as an audience member. I've considered, where is that next generation of action stars? We've kind of seen it with The Rock, obviously, but in terms of a direct successor, I would say we haven't seen it yet.
No, you have Tom Cruise, he's 60, you know, so Glenn Powell is just not bringing it. So, you know, it's just that they tried it hard, but he's not a Bruce Willis, he's not going there. I think he's a good actor, but he is the action star. And, you know, and you have this kind of generation almost dying off because Roger Pattinson, Miles Teller, they're all good actors, but they're not action stars. They're not the replacement of Rambo. You know, so, and or Die Hard or Lethal Weapon or so on, and that's a big problem. But I think Armie Hammer can do this. He is like this kind of, he can be slick, but he has the body, he has the acting skills, he has the physically appearance. He could be the perfect James Bond, actually. You know, so but of course they still don't want to hire him. For James Bond, 100% they will not hire him because of this. I mean, it was not even a lawsuit. It was like girlfriends who flipped out on each other, where he did kinky sex with, right? So that was you know, like this kind of, it's absurd in a way, but think about it. There was no state attorney filing anything against Armie Hammer. There was no private person, like Kevin Spacey got sued by tons of people, Harvey Weinstein, they all got sued. Armie Hammer never got sued from nobody. So now you have like basically a social media storm because he texted to a girl, "I want to eat you." Like cannibal, right? So okay, but it was a sexual text, right? It's not like I want to eat you or to make a barbecue out of you. It was like so, and it was for me so absurd when I looked really at the facts. I was like, what the fuck, like this is totally absurd to say. Okay, that's it. You can never work again. It doesn't make any sense, and that's the thing where that was the reason I felt, look, let's come back, let's give him a shot. And he did various movies now, but he never played the lead. So my movie is really where he carries the movie, and that's what it should be, and not like playing a little side plot somewhere.